Recording in progress.
Hey everybody, this is Maxine Taylor, America's first licensed astrologer, with my September forecast for you, Aries. And how's everybody doing in Aries land? Don't you just love this forecast? I'm going to explain this to you in detail. But first, I have a couple of announcements I want to share with you. I hope you'll find them helpful and informative. First of all, as you know, our world has come unglued. It is crazy. The things we could count on in the past to provide emotional security are no longer there. The one thing you can count on, however, is your own personal forecast based on your month, day, and year of birth, the city and state where you were born, and the exact time of birth. And so to help get everybody through this incredibly difficult time that we are going through, I am offering a September special. And I'm offering a special on my forecasts, either the 6-month forecast or the 12-month forecast. And these discounts that I'm offering are sizable. I realize that people really need their own personal forecast now more than ever, but most people can afford it less than ever. So if you would like your own personal forecast, go to my website, MaxineTaylor.com, and sign up for either a 6-month or a 12-month forecast. And I will be in touch real soon. Now, I have an announcement that some of you have been waiting for. And that announcement is my first sexual imprinting book, which I've been working on for over a year, is now available on Amazon. It is not an astrology book. Rather, it is a personal roadmap to empower women. It is a not just a description of the first sexual experience that set the tone for your life. And you know that if you have had difficult sexual experiences, they began in childhood. This particular book is designed to empower women to empower themselves. If you have found that there is a theme that runs through your life, it began in childhood, and the first sexual imprinting sets the tone for the rest of a woman's life, especially if she was a child when it happened and she doesn't have the verbal skills or didn't have the verbal skills to express it. And she's carried that forward. This particular book will, in this book, I share with you my Take Back Your Life sessions, and I share with you the step-by-step technique to help you release old programming that has run your life. It's a very powerful book. It's life transforming. And if you are interested, it's available on Amazon. If you would like your own personal, private, one-on-one session with me, just go to my website, MaxineTaylor.com, and look under the Spiritual Coaching tab, where you will find a Take Back Your Life session I will work with you. You will find it to be incredibly life transforming and empowering. Okay, so let's now talk, Aries, about you and your forecast. And you can see all the activity is right here this month in September. So I'm going to start. I better put my glasses on so I can see what I'm talking about. Okay, let's start with the sun, the yellow planet, the giver of life. It starts off in your 6th house of work, health, and service. And so the center of your life is about service. It is about serving other people. It is also about healing yourself, because the giver of life can create health, which is wonderful. On the 22nd, the sun moves into your 7th house of relationships, litigation, open enemies, the one-on-one situation. And this is a time when you will be able to make progress with other people, signing contracts perhaps. Although my suggestion is that since Mercury is going to be entering the shadow of the retrograde on the 7th of the month, and it will actually go retrograde on the 27th, my suggestion is that you tie up the loose ends of unfinished projects rather than initiating new ones during the month of September, particularly so because when Mercury goes retrograde, everything is confused. And we do not want to start a new project, because anything we begin under a retrograde Mercury either fizzles out completely or has to be redone within the year. Okay, keep that in mind. And this is in your 7th house of relationships. That's where it's headed. In October, Mercury goes direct, and we can move forward at that point. All right. Now, Mars, the planet of action and energy. It's what we fight with and fight for. It's the planet of war. It's in your 6th house of work, health, and service. And my suggestion is that you use Mars on its most positive level and throw yourself into physical activity, throw yourself into health, and throw yourself into the details of making sure that every T is crossed and every I is dotted. On the 14th of the month, Mars moves into your 7th house, and you can interact with other people a lot more freely, more openly, and more directly. I love the way that looks. Keep in mind that Mercury is going to be retrograde here in the relationship area, and that can be unsettling. Venus, the planet of love and money and beauty, is in your 7th house. And what this does for you, Aries, is it gives you tact and diplomacy. You are not known for tact and diplomacy. You're known for shooting from the hip and telling it like it is. And so I'm very happy to tell you that Venus in the 7th house gives you that wonderful tact and diplomacy, which your opposite sign, Libra, brings to the table. On the 10th of the month, Venus moves into your 8th house of legacies and wills and joint finances. And this is a time to look beneath the surface, to dig beneath the surface, and get involved with mutually beneficial financial projects. I love the way this looks. All right. We have a new moon on the 6th, and the new moon is when energy starts moving forward. The problem is that on this new moon, we also have Mercury entering the shadow of the retrograde. And so for all intents and purposes, this month of September is confused. That's it in a nutshell. You're going to tie up the loose ends of unfinished business rather than starting new projects. And so on the 6th, we have a new moon in 14 Capricorn. Capricorn, 14 Virgo. Find 14 Virgo in your birth chart. This is where the energy starts moving. 2 weeks later, the full moon is in 28 degrees Pisces, which means it's practically into Aries. And so we're tying up the loose ends of service projects. The full moon in your 12th house says, I want to be alone. I want to sleep. I want to meditate. I want to be by myself. So make sure that you are by yourself, because remember, with all this activity in your 7th house of partnership, you're going to be interacting with other people, whether it's friends or family members or business associates. And by the full moon on the 20th, you're going to say, I got to be off alone by myself. And that will balance things. Privately, things can come to a head behind the scenes. You may have great psychic awareness and realizations with this full moon on September 20th. So that's the way September looks for you. I think it's terrific. You're going to be able to balance relationships with solitude. And so I look forward to being with you again next month when, once again, I take a look at your forecast. Until then, this is Maxine Taylor saying, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours. Bye for now.